I'm Evan Ryerson, and today I'm going to be talking about speech-generating devices, which is a type of augmentative and alternative communication system. So basically what these are is just a kind of a device or even an app that allows a person with communication difficulties or speech issues to communicate in a way where they're pressing buttons or pictures on the device or the app, and then stringing them into a type of sentence or a way of communicating what they need. One of the devices that I'm familiar with, although I have not worked with a client who's had one in a while, was the Speech Buddy, and that looks similar to this. So it's kind of just a big device, and it's got all the buttons on here that kind of lead the client or the child to formulate sentences or express what they need. But with the technology, what it is nowadays, with tablets and things getting smaller, smartphones, it's almost easier just to download an app that has all those same types of software already installed in them. A device like this can cost upwards of $4,000 or $5,000. I think the child that I was working with, his cost about $5,500 for this piece right here. So, but with the technology today, like I said, I have an Apple iPad mini, and there's many different apps out there that use the same software that have the pictures on them. And you can just go into the App Store or whatever tablet or smartphone you have and search for these types of apps. These are not inexpensive either. Some of these apps that have tons and tons of picture communications can cost anywhere from $200 to $800. The one that I have on here is actually free, which was great, but it's just an introductory app. So the way this works is that a child that's using this would have this with them wherever they go, and basically what they need to do is click on a button. So let's say I, let's say want, and let's say I'm feeling hungry, so I want breakfast. So at the top there it says I want breakfast, and you simply click
I want breakfast.
and it says it in a computer sounding voice. It's not very natural sounding, but then again, using a tablet to communicate isn't necessarily natural currently anyway. A good thing to compare this to would be someone like Stephen Hawking, who uses a computer to talk because he's unable to. So although it might seem kind of unnatural and unordinary for someone to be using this type of device nowadays, and even now it's starting to become an okay thing, I think in the future people who have communication difficulties or speech difficulties might be in a group using their communication devices, maybe not this type of thing per se, maybe even just typing it out like Stephen Hawking does, and communicating in a group, much like you would see the deaf community in a group signing to each other. So it's simple to kind of navigate and figure out when you first look at it, but when you get in the depth of it, it actually takes a lot of memorizing and understanding where all the components are. So there is a bit of a learning curve to it, especially if it's an older generation, sorry to say, but a generation that's not too familiar with iPads or the technology that's out nowadays. It's going to take some time getting used to. Other than that, the kids of this generation, the millennium babies, are going to have no problem figuring this type of technology out. And children with autism, individuals with autism, are very visual and kind of take to this type of technology very quickly. So I think it's a very good way to help with communication for those who are having difficulties with speech or communication. The other nice thing about this is that it's all it's that big, it's that thin, whereas the Speech Buddy is pretty thick, and I remember it being probably a couple pounds, so it's very big. This thing is very small, compact. The textbooks that this is kind of based off of can get very thick and very wide because of all the different types of cards and pictures that are in it. Something like this, very simple just to kind of pick up and use, and then once you get a little bit more in depth with it, it becomes a little bit more challenging. But like anything else, it just takes a bit of learning. Other than that, I think it's a great way to see into the future for people who need to communicate with society. So anyway, have a good day, and thank you.